Malam itu aku menggali di dalam ingatanku, menggali di dalam ciptaku, menggali di dalam khayalku, apa yang terpendam di dalam bumi Indonesia ini, agar supaya sebagai hasil dari penggalian itu dapat dipakainya sebagai dasar daripada negara Indonesia merdeka yang akan datang. Sudah terbukti bahwa Pancasila yang saya gali dan saya persembahkan kepada rakyat Indonesia, bahwa Pancasila itu adalah benar-benar satu dasar yang dinamis, satu dasar yang benar-benar dapat menghimpun segenap tenaga rakyat Indonesia, satu dasar yang benar-benar bisa mempersatukan rakyat Indonesia itu untuk bukan saja mencetuskan revolusi, tetapi juga mengakhiri revolusi ini dengan hasil yang baik. Maka aku adalah sebenarnya utusan, wakil daripada revolusi Indonesia. Revolusi Indonesia ini bukan revolusi Soekarno, tetapi revolusi daripada seluruh rakyat Indonesia, dari Sabang sampai Merauke.
And then, who am I as an Indonesian and a person who lives in Indonesia? Who am I? Who am I?
Hello everyone, it is good to see you all here. Pancasila is a big deal for Indonesia. Why? Because Pancasila covers 5 principles or philosophy which fundamentally guides the national life of Indonesia. And do you recognize yourself as an Indonesian or as a person who lives in Indonesia? Today on this video, I would like to present you about how the process I recognize myself as an Indonesian and as a person who lives in Indonesia by explaining my culture that related to implementation of Pancasila in daily life. So without further ado, let's get it started.
Hello everyone, I'm Negara Priscilla Putriswandari. And based on my name, people who watch this video will know that I'm Balinese. My family comes from a small region in Bali province, which is Marapura Klungkung. Klungkung is located between Gianyar and Karangasem region and includes the island of Nusa Penida, Nusa Lembongan, and Ceningan. Klungkung was the base of the ancient Javanese Hindu kingdom in Bali, from where the Balinese reality of today draws its bloodline. It is the oldest kingdom in Bali with the most exalted kings, and that is a glimpse description about my born place. My name is a combination between modern name and Balinese name. The word Ni and Komang in my name is part of Balinese name. Ni means the daughter, and Komang means the third child in the family. The word Priscilla in my name is like Christian's name, which means ancient. But if I word Priscilla using Balinese script, it will make a big character, which means I will be a leader and have a big influence over the other. Putri means princess or daughter. For Iswandari, my mom said the word swan from Iswandari is Saraswati goddess vehicle that symbolize mastery over Viveka or the power of reason. So I will be able to choose which one is bad and which one is good. Therefore, the meaning of my name is the third daughter in family who is a leader that have a big influence over the others and master of the power of reason, which be able to choose which one is bad and which one is good. I speak a little high level of Balinese such as Alusinggi, Alusmider, alus madi, and alus sor when talking with someone who older than me in my family.
Ampun yang lewat tampil ke dia. Itu sampun ngalian paper untuk sedang kali aturan pentingnya. Anki yang sampun muat buku, ngirim macam dia itu.
And I speak using combination of bahasa and Bali Anda when talking to my friends. And those level of language show layers of respect to the conversation partner.
Om Swastiastu. Om Swastiastu. Siro pesengane, Gus. Pesengan tiang keke. Beli siro pesengane. Pesengan beline Ardiase. Keke saking napi. Tiang saking Gianyar nika beli. Beli Ardi saking napi. Beli saking Mitra nika. Oh, kentan. DJ nika Mitra nggih. Ye, Gus nak engkene. Mitra nika ampun Gianyar. Oh, gitu beli, buru beli yang pernah hafal aja wilayah. Nah, sengken, santuy kan. Gih beli, santuy kok.
As a Balinese, my family embraced certain values, customs, and traditions that are still strongly implemented in daily life. For example, in my family, besides pray 3 times a day, we also make an offering in the form of rice and dishes that we have made, and we call it Bai Mabantan Saiban. And as a Hindu, we also have 2 birthdays, which is birthdays according to the Balinese calendar and birthdays according to the national calendar. The birthday according to the Balinese calendar, we call it Bai Otonan. This ceremony is not just a form of gratitude for the birth and all the blessings given. At the same time, Otonan is also considered to have an effect on one's behavior and way of life. Every holidays or there are other religious activity, in our family we will hold an activity which we call ngayah or ngopin. It will be depends on the ceremony itself. And one activity that is never missed in my family is mebat. Mebat is a cooking activity carried out by men to make processed meat that will be used as an offering for the ceremony along with the food that we will eat together, or we call it Bai Magibung. Before the ceremony is held, we also always hold a meeting, or we call it by Paruman or Sangkep. Paruman or Sangkep is a meeting or deliberation in Balinese which aims to reach an agreement for the common interest and harmony of all human beings, which must be maintained and carried out from every decision or prerogative obtained. Besides for preparing some event, this meeting also will be held if my extended family want to change the leader of our family community, because in Bali there is Sekadibu. Sekadibu is a group of families that share a common ancestor, and if the leader for the Seka is already old and no longer able to carry out his duties, a new leader will be elected through this meeting. The tradition and customs that are still implemented by my family are in line with the core principle of Pancasila. The tradition like Mabantan Saiban, praying every day, and the harmony in life among religions and belief in my family by respecting one another and practicing the religious activities of rituals according to the religions is some example for the implementation of the first principle of Pancasila, which is about Ketuhanan Yang Maha Esa. In this principle has the main value, which is the value of Ketuhanan or God. However, it doesn't mean the implementation for the first principle of Pancasila just do some creativity, but religious tolerance is also very important in implementing the first principle of Pancasila. Socially, Balinese people are known as communal communities with the spirit of mutual cooperation in everyday life. Humanity for Balinese people, it is related to communal interaction, mutual cooperation, which in Bung Karno's formulation include in Ekasila. In essence, Balinese people realize swadharma or living together in the world. That is why the custom and tradition like ngayah, ngupin, mebat, and medalokan in my family is the example for the implementation of the second principle of Pancasila, which is kemanusiaan yang adil dan beradab. This is because in our family, we know the term of menyama braya or kinship, where we will help each other to ease each other's burdens regardless of the person's social status. This example also in line with the meaning of the second principle of Pancasila, which is that we must respect and love each other regardless of background, such as ethnicity, culture, religion, or status in society. Moreover, the diversity that exists in Indonesia has been tied and unified with the concept of Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. In the concept of diversity, it is hoped that various societies can get rid of fanatism. This motto has accommodated every difference, embracing it within the framework of the unitary state of the Republik of Indonesia. In this case, it is necessary to establish the value of harmony among the very diverse Indonesian people. This harmony value will encourage the formation of unity and integrity. This is very much needed by the Indonesian people in maintaining the integrity of the country, both from external and internal threats. From this explanation, my family's custom and tradition, which is respecting one another and practicing the religious activities of rituals according to the religions, ngayah, ngupin, mebat, and madalokan, is the example for the implementation of the third principle of Pancasila, which is the unity of Indonesia or Persatuan Indonesia. This is because by ngayah, ngupin, mebat, and madalokan, which is a form of concern for others by helping and easing each other's burden, along with the respecting one another in practicing the religious activities of rituals according to the religions, will create harmony that makes the possibility of division occur between communities is getting smaller. Due to the fact that Indonesia is a very diverse and multicultural country, Indonesia must have a state system that is able to embrace every level of society. And Indonesia has several times experienced changes in the form and system of government, but still the most appropriate at this time is the form of a republic that prioritizes democracy. The democratic system comes from the people, by the people, and for the people themselves, so that the fourth point of Pancasila contains populist values. The people's value in question is that the people play an active role in the course of government through elected representative of the people, both regionally and nationally. People's value have brought Indonesia as a democratic country that upholds the principle of deliberation and consensus. An example of the implementing this fourth core of Pancasila from my family tradition is the election of a new leader for my Sekadibu. This is because this election was carried out through a meeting or parliament or sangkep, deliberation in Balinese, which aims to reach an agreement for the common interest and harmony of all human beings, which must be maintained and carried out from every decision or program obtained. The last or the fifth principle of Pancasila is keadilan sosial bagi seluruh rakyat Indonesia. It's the most concrete manifestation of the principles of Pancasila. In this principle of justice is the core of divine morality, is the basic foundation of humanity, the note of unity, and the dimension of people's sovereignty. This means that social justice is a manifestation as well as a reflection of the previous principles contained in Pancasila. Therefore, all of the examples of implementation that I have mentioned before, such as Membatan Taiban, praying every day, respecting one another in practicing the religious activities of rituals according to the religions, ngayah, ngopin, mebat, madalokan, and election of new leader for my Sekadibu, is an example of implementing the fifth principle of Pancasila. Membatan Taiban, praying every day and respecting one another in practicing their religious activities of rituals according to the religions, is a form of justice for all of us in the religious field, because really embracing our religion and carrying out our religious tradition is a justice that means a lot to us. In addition, ngayah, ngopin, mebat, madalokan, and election of a new leader for my Sekadibu are justice in the social field, where ngayah, ngopin, mebat, and madalokan are forms of our concern in helping others so as to lighten the burden between each other and everyone will get equal welfare and social justice. Not only that, through the election of new leader, justice can also realize because in this election meeting, all of our opinions will be heard regardless of our social status.
In conclusion, from explanation before, all of us knew that the principles in Pancasila are related to each other. So that, in one implementation of Pancasila principle, we can apply almost all of the value that contains in Pancasila. In addition, the value that contained in Pancasila must always be implemented to establish the value of harmony among the very diverse Indonesian people. It's because the value of harmony can encourage the formation of unity and integrity in Negara Kesatuan Republik Indonesia. Having done this reflection has given me ample time to review how I carry out my roles as a daughter, siblings, and student. It is always crucial for us to step back and reflect on what we have done and can continue to do in order to improve the way we reach our goals, whatever they may be. The step back and reflect that I mean is to recognize ourselves. For example, like me, I try to recognize myself as an Indonesian and as a person who lives in Indonesia by trying to find a lot of information about my culture that relate to the implementation of 5 principles of Pancasila in daily life. It is because Pancasila serves as a fundamental reminder that principles may be seemingly big guidelines, but extremely important for us in paving the way ahead. And I hope everyone will do the same as me and will discover some important reflection to pave a better way for ourselves. So that's all from me. Thank you, and my apologies if I have something wrong with my explanation in this video. And see you next time. Bye bye.